Hello everyone, welcome to Social Science class. In our previous session, we discussed how elections take place in our country. Are these elections democratic? Are these elections free and fair? So the question arises here that what makes election in India democratic? So what all things make election in India democratic? First, we have an independent election commission. Election commission is responsible for conducting free and fair elections in India. It enjoys the same power as the judiciary of our country enjoys. The CEC is the Chief Election Commissioner, is appointed by the President of India, but he or she is not answerable to President. It means that President can appoint CEC, but the President does not have the power to remove him. So he can work independently. Second, the election commission takes decision on every aspect of conduct and control of election. The election commission only decides on which date the election has to be conducted, in how many stages it has to be conducted, when the counting of votes should take place, and it even declares the results. And if the election commission finds that in a particular constituency the election was not true democratic or not free and fair, in that case it has the power to conduct elections in that particular constituency again. Next, it implements the code of conduct. About the code of conduct we studied in our previous session. If any candidate of any political party is not following the code of conduct, the election commissioner has the power to punish that candidate. Punishment means that his nomination will be cancelled and that candidate will not be able to contest the election. It is in the hand of the election commission to do so. It can order government to follow some guidelines. Even during election, the government also has to follow the guidelines which are given by the Election Commission of India. And finally, on election duty, government officers work under election commission. Means the government officers do not work under the government. The reason behind it is that government will be of any particular party, and there must be a level playing ground in which all the parties should have equal chance to win the election. Next thing which makes election democratic in India is the popular participation. First of all, voters turnout. What is voters turnout? It is the percentage of eligible voters who actually cast their vote. You all know that what is a voters list, that contains name of all the eligible voters. But out of that, the number of people who actually cast their vote, that is what we call the voters turnout. Say for example, there are 100 members in a voters list, and only 50 people out of that go to the polling booth and give their vote. So 50% is the voters turnout. In India, this voters turnout is increasing day by day. More and more people are going and using their right to vote. Second, poor, illiterate and underprivileged people vote in larger proportion. This is in contrast to the developed countries. In developed countries, rich people, well-to-do people go and give their vote more. But in our country, poor people, illiterate people, and those who have been underprivileged up to now, they are going in more number to use their right to vote. Third, common people give lot of importance. What does it mean? It means that they think that common people think that elections will be there and every party wants to win the elections. So they think that through the election they can put pressure on the political parties to take decisions in their favor. That's why they give lot of importance to elections. And last of all, increasing interest of election related activities. You will be surprised to know that more than 50% people in our country, they find them associated with one or another party. It is also said that 1 out of every 7 members in our country is associated with any political party. Then third thing, acceptance of election outcomes. It speaks loudly about the democratic elections in India. First, the ruling parties routinely lose elections. What does it say? It says that the parties which are in power, it is not a guarantee for them that they will keep on winning. Say for example in Rajasthan, for 5 years there is a BJP government and then for next 5 years there will be Congress government and then again BJP. So ruling parties routinely lose elections. It says that elections are democratic. Second, about half of the sitting MPs or MLAs lose elections. It is also said that those who are the MPs or MLAs, they are the people in power. In spite of that, they also lose their elections. Third, the candidates who spend lot of money or have criminal connections often lose elections. So even those candidates who are having lot of money and try to buy their voters, they also lose the election. So having money or spending lot of money is not a guarantee to win the elections. And last and the most important, the electoral outcomes are usually accepted as people's verdict by defeated party. The party which is losing the elections, rarely he opposes. Sometimes little bit they say that EVM was not okay or this or that, but they accept the election outcomes. It also shows that elections are true democratic in our country. Even if there are number of things which makes election democratic in India, but do you feel that an ordinary person, say for example, I think of myself, the person like me can contest the election, can bear to go for the election campaigns? Not possible. So there are still some challenges to free and fair elections. First, candidates and parties with a lot of money do enjoy unfair advantage. You see, during election campaigns, what happens? The candidates travel by helicopters from one place to another and address number of rallies. Lot of money. Is it possible for an ordinary person or ordinary candidate to do like this? The answer is no. Candidates with criminal connection push others out of electoral race. Sometimes some people, those who are having criminal background, they threaten others to contest the election. They don't even allow them to contest election in their constituencies. And as a result, the people with the criminal background, they are getting elected to the Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. Even they are getting the party ticket because of their criminal background. Then, some families tend to dominate political parties. You see, some of the parties have become the property of some families. Okay, and then the family members only become the president of that party. They are only getting the tickets, all the tickets are given to their relatives only, and they are only winning the elections. Others are not getting the chance to fight the election from that particular parties even sometime, or they are not even able to reach up to that place in the any particular party. Then elections offer little choice as both major parties look similar to each other. What the voters think, this party is not good, he will go for the another party. And after 5 years, what he finds? Another party is also the same like that of the first party. So actually, he doesn't get any real choice among the big parties during an election. And sometimes he presses one button is there, nota button, in which he doesn't like any of the parties. And in recent years, the more and more people are using that button of nota, because the people have started thinking that none of the party is good for them. And last of all, smaller parties and independent candidates suffer disadvantage compared to big parties, because the big parties, their candidates are well known, and they have more approach to the voters compared to the smaller parties and independent candidates. So it becomes quite difficult for the candidates of the smaller parties or the independent candidates to contest the election, and after that even to win the election. That's all in this lesson. Thank you and have a nice day.